Hey, it's 103.5 The Beat, Mommy's new number one for hip-hop, R&B, and The Breakfast Club. You know, I've interviewed over, like, no exaggeration, I'd say over 500 people, you know, from politicians, actresses, actors, rappers, you name it. And, you know, sometimes you have your favorites. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of my favorites right here.
Is it because I'm a yardie?
Technically, no, because I'm not a yardie. I'm Trini. I do appreciate the Caribbean vibe, for sure. But no, it's because you live, because you're Olivia. You always come with good energy, good vibes.
Thank you so
much.
And
you're one of those people, like, no matter what you got going on, I want to know about it, and I want to, like, stir the pot.
That's what's up. I don't know if I like the stir the pot comment, but that's what's up.
Meaning like if you cooking on something, I want to be involved. Yeah, I want to stir the pot to be like, yeah, I played a role in that too.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's what's
up. No
controversy.
controversy. You know, I don't do no controversy here, girl.
True.
You know what I mean? So listen, first of all, how you been?
Good. Everything is good. I'm glad we are kind of getting out of the full pandemic mode.
Yeah.
Glad to be back with friends and family and stuff. Y'all can't see I got my cousin Stace, Stace in the corner though. You know what I'm saying? I always roll with family, so it's good to be here, man.
That's what's up. And during this time off, I have to believe you've been working on some music and some things. You know what I mean?
You already know. About that? You know I brought the single to you. No permission. I'm giving you permission to play it though.
Right.
And the album is finished. So the album is finished.
Did you figure out a name for the album?
I did. It's called Under Pressure.
Wow. Why Under Pressure?
Because I feel like there's a lot of pressure, and not per se from the outside, but that I put on myself because I haven't given you an album since my debut on J Records.
Right.
And a lot of my supporters was like, well, what happened to, the one on G Unit? Why we didn't get behind closed doors? And so I'm like, all right, I got to really come with it. I got to make sure I give them my all and show them the new sound and what I've evolved into. And that's what Under Pressure is all about.
Well, congratulations on that. That's big news. And I'm so happy to hear that. Let's take it back a bit because, this is something I like to do. You never know who's tuned in, people who, knew, whatever.
True.
Let's take it back. How did you first get discovered?
J Records. I got to shout out the dopest A&R, though, Keith Naftali. So Keith was at Arista at the time. This is before they even started J. And my cousin Wolfie, who was managing me at the time, again, me, I love my family.
Right.
So he was like, yo, we got a meeting with Keith up at Arista. I was like, okay, bet. So I was at that stage, I'm 19, so I don't know what was going on, if I was in like the Whirl of Girl stage or something.
Right.
But I had on, like, I could remember to a T, I had a silver, like a two-piece crop, kind of like this, but a crop skirt. I wore a fur. Bro, I think it was hot outside, but I wore a fur.
He was giving it to them.
A white fur, yes.
Yeah.
So, and Keith told the story on Twitter one day, and he reminded me, he was like, the lighting was so awful in the building, but he was like, it gave it the, like, spark because it was flickering on and off. So he was like, as you walked in, he was like, you don't remember the lights was like going on and off, and we asked you to sing something, and you hit that gospel song, and I was like, yo, Keith, you remember that? But it was crazy. So I met Clive that day, and they called like a couple of weeks after that, and thank God I had got the deal. So that was I was the first artist signed to J Records.
Yes, I remember that. So J Records, it was owned by Clive Davis at that time. Talk about how you got involved with G Unit. Or became the first lady of
G Unit. Yeah. So again, my segue coming out of J Records, we had a VP, one of our dope black A&Rs. He was leaving and was like, "Yo, I got to take you with me." So I didn't understand how that goes. I didn't know you can bring people where you want or whatever. So I'm like, cool. What we doing?
Right.
So he told me he was going over to Interscope. So I knew Jimmy Iovine, of course, Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Eminem. So he's like, well, I want to bring you over here, and I want to introduce you to Chris Lighty. So
rest in peace, Chris Lighty.
Rest in peace to Chris Lighty. I get to LA, and I actually ended up living in LA for 3 years, or for this 3-4 years. Chris Lighty calls one day. I'm at my hotel, and he's like, yeah, I just had a meeting with Fifth. And I'm like, So he's like, he's really interested in signing you. And, what would you think about that? Now, mind you, I just got here. I just signed the deal at Interscope. Again, I'm like, how does that work?
Right.
So they was like, no, it's a subsidiary of the label.
Right.
It'll be easy. Don't worry. Just come on in. And, my young self, I'm like, well, I got to think this over because, they're a bunch of G's. Like, what am I? Again, like, I'm the girl who always hung around all the guys. Like, that's how it was through junior high school, high school.
Right,
That just
right.
was me. So I was like, well, it is kind of my niche, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, we're going to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So it was, from there, it was just crazy.
That was it. That was it. What was your first impression of 50 when you guys met up?
That's a tough one because I'm trying to remember if he was joking at the time. He was mad cool, but I think he started off, he was always a jokester.
Got you, yeah.
So I think that probably was my first impression, but he was cool.
All right, that's what's up. And what was it like, working or being the first lady of G Unit? Like, what was that vibe? Because now that's different because you were signed as a single artist.
Right.
The focus is just on you. And now you're a part of this conglomerate, and that's a rap-heavy conglomerate.
Right.
And at that time, we all knew that most of the labels had a first lady, so to speak. But most of the rap group first ladies were rappers.
Right.
So you were in a quandary, not a bad one, but like, I would like to know how that worked.
Again, another new situation to navigate through, right? So, I mean, the good thing is that the majority of us was from Queens. Me, Banks, Fifth, Yayo, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I still feel like I'm with the homies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when, it started getting crazy on the road, and I'll never forget, Lighty came, we was doing, I don't remember what tour, and shout out to Misa Hilton, she did all our styling for the tours.
Yeah, Misa, that's Diddy's baby mama, right?
Okay. Yeah. Chris goes, I got something for you. So Misa goes and pulls it out, and I'm thinking, they just got me the dopest outfit made. He brought me a pink bulletproof vest. And I said, I don't know if this a good thing or a bad thing. Like, do I need this? And I was like,
yep.
Oh, thank you. It's the shock, but like, okay. But also Fifth used to wear it during the shows. Like, it was his thing. You know what I'm saying? So one day I did do it on the show. Like, Misa had another like yellow and white one. Her styling was dope. I can't front. Yeah. But I mean, the touring was crazy. Just being around, it really felt like I was around the homies that I grew up in Queens, which was good. They ain't never, I mean, they might have been upset at how, Fifth did things differently for me, but I'm the only girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they were always cool. It was never hating on me because of nothing. Like, we always just vibe whenever we was like, the guys would play CeeLo in my room before the tours, or like, I'm like, what, we playing spades right now? We got a show, like, but it was always fun. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. So, being in a group like that, and when the groups break up, there's a few people who are pretty disgruntled and stuff like that. I never heard anything, negative from you coming, from that situation personally.
Yeah.
Nothing bad. Was it an overall good experience? And why did you, how did you end up departing from that situation?
It was absolutely an overall good experience. How could it not? That was the hype. Like, we killed the summer from like 03 to 07.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so there's nothing bad that I could say. Of course, people going to come up with rumors and all that other BS, but in this industry, that's what comes with it, you know? To me, it was fun. I got to tour places. Like, I had all the tours at J Records, but I never toured outside of the country.
Got you.
Until I got with them. So we've been to every country that you could think. I mean, literally, like Israel and all, like Russia, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. So, I thank God for those times. And I'll never have anything bad to say because that was like one of the best times of my life.
That's dope.
I'm 23 years old. What I got to be mad at?
Touring the world, doing what you love, making money. Yeah.
Right.
What do you have to be mad at?
Not a thing.
That's beautiful. So now, a lot of artists, the shelf life for artists is not long. There's only a few that could really, stand the test of time. Fifth is proven to be one.
For sure.
Rick Ross, and yourself. So, like, being in this, like, I would say, new age of R&B, how do you see yourself fitting in, and what are some things that you have done to maybe kind of like tweak things or not?
Honestly, I don't really pay attention to what's out there when I'm creating. So I had somebody say this to me the other day on an interview. They were like, when I made No Permission and they heard it, they said, how did you manage to be modern but still keep the R&B feel?
Exactly.
And it made it, he was like, it was like the feeling of nostalgia, but it's up to date.
Yes.
And I was like, well, when I first came out with Biz Ounce, I mean, I feel like that's kind of what I did too. I was ahead of the time. I'm saying F you, riding high now, but
Right.
and I was on like kind of a hip hop beat, but doing R&B stuff.
Yes,
so I
yes.
always did my own thing, and I feel like that I just always just evolved every year to a different level, and that's how I'm able to keep going. It's just me, but you know, little sprinkles of everything in here. Like, and I gotta say this. So my boy Tony Kelly, I had reached out to him. You know who Tony Kelly is?
dancehall producer.
So Tony Kelly's on the album too.
Oh, nice.
And I was
Shout
like,
out to
yo,
Tony
my
and
youth,
Davis, brother.
I need a record for this joint.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you this joint is so fire.
What's the name of that one?
Dirty Dance.
Mm.
It's fire. It's fire.
Okay.
So I don't even remember where I was going with saying, Tony, but when I tell you, oh, my sprinkling of things, there you go. So, like, I sprinkled a little bit of me. Like, I was like, I can't not have dancehall on the joint.
Right.
So you get everything on here. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of Spanish stuff. I got the hip-hop. I got the R&B. I got the reggae. And you just infuse it. There go that gumbo that we mixing in the pot. You feel me?
Let me hold that spoon for 2 minutes. I love it, you know, because it seems like you did you.
That's what I did.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what
you were
I did.
able to do you.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing this independent.
Independent.
Yeah. So talk on that a little bit, because I'm noticing now, too, that a lot of artists are kind of moving to that direction.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a thing now, you know, but coming from the experience of, you know, being a part of the label and then now being independent, is it like, we already talked about your freedom to put out what you want?
Right.
That's great. What are some of the other things that, you know, now that you're independent, that you're able to do that you probably couldn't do before?
I mean, of course, the music that you want to put out, but the money, you got to spend so much more money. So
Gotcha.
that's what most people don't understand. But when you have the money to do it, all the revenue comes back in house.
Right.
So you still end up winning on the end. You just got to make sure your pockets is a little bit heavy.
Right, because
you
you're
know?
ultimately fighting the record labels who have relationships,
Exactly.
and baked in situations.
Exactly.
Exactly,
Who got
yeah.
regular programming on the radios, hint,
Right.
hint, that we trying to get on and stuff.
and then ultimately they don't want to see that work for you,
Right.
because if it does, then more people are going to want to move in that direction.
Exactly. True indeed.
Yeah. That's what's so. Listen, I speak on it. You know, I speak on it, man. I'm for the talent. I'm for the talent every time.
Yes, sir.
Well, let's break down, because you said you have some Latin music. Did you work with anybody on this album?
I did, but I don't want to give it away
Okay.
too early.
So that means you have to come back here, or you got to call me, or we got to do something.
For sure, I gotta
All
come
right,
back
all right,
here.
all right,
Yeah.
Because, you know what
I
I
already
mean?
gave you one. That Tony Kelly one is a big one,
Right.
though.
No, that's a huge
yeah,
one.
y'all should be like, "Rah, rah, rah, rah."
Yeah. Bump. No, that's a huge one.
Yes,
but
sir.
just true, you told me that the album's about to drop. You know, start pull some information from
sure,
that. But
for sure.
I could respect that you want to keep certain things a surprise and stuff like that.
But I do have 8 songs on the album, and I have a bonus song on there that's about my mom.
Okay.
So that one is real near and dear to me. For everybody who knows the situation, my mom passed away from Parkinson's.
Yes.
So it took everything in me to fit everything I wanted to say about her on a record.
Yeah.
And I think I did it justice with it. I cry every time it comes on, like I just heard it. So hopefully anybody else who's going through the same situation, this will help them through also.
And I love that too. You know what? I'm noticing that artists are now moving more conscious in how they deliver their music and what they give to the fans. And you know, mental health has always been a thing, a taboo.
Right.
In the Caribbean especially,
Yeah.
but just with black people in general.
Can't nothing be wrong with you.
Right. So I'm watching now artists being, putting their feelings out there, that's big, because that's going to be therapeutic for you too.
Yes.
You
and
know?
most of my supporters know that it's really big for me, because I have always been the very secretive one. Like, I keep all my stuff enclosed to me, you know, and I do that purposely because we give so much, and that, we let you into so many different levels that we try to keep the most sacred things to ourselves. But sometimes it helps to give it out, because you don't know who's going through the same thing and needs to hear it. And they could be going through something, ready to do the worst thing to themselves. And as soon as they hear it, sometimes you need to hear from somebody that you don't know.
Yeah, somebody, a lot of people have lost their mom, and for you to have a song like that, you're healing yourself, and then you're
while
healing
helping
somebody
else. Exactly.
All right, so I have to touch this.
Yes.
I've seen so many female artists that, when I first interviewed them, they look one way, and then when I interview them again, they look another way, and then I interview them again. It's like, who are you? With that being said, and
I
respectfully.
think I know where you're going with it.
With that being said, Liv, you like
Men
what?
fall off.
Not an inch. Like if anything, you hire because
Thank
you
you
get
so
credit
much.
because
Thank
you're
you.
you're aging so well.
Thank you.
And you know what I'm saying? And it just seems like I don't know your business or your secrets or whatever, but it just seems like you're just taking very good care of yourself. And
I mean, I don't want to big up all our Caribbean people, but it is a little extra something
All
that
right.
goes in the pot with Caribbeans.
yeah, maybe it's the
know,
curry.
you
Maybe
know?
it's the curry.
And I love some curry, But like, I gotta give it up to my parents. Like the genes,
Got you.
But also I work out a lot. I've been working
Okay.
out. Like my older brother, I've been working out with him since I was probably like 14.
Oh wow.
I would do the pull-ups. Like I was the tomboy. Like I played basketball up
Mm.
until high school. So that was something that I've always done, and I still stay in shape. Like we go running on the beach in the sand.
Yeah.
Like I do all the extra stuff.
Well,
but
it pays out. It played out and pays out for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
And keep up
it.
the great work, whatever you're doing. Sometimes I interview somebody and they come back, their nose different and this, that. I'm seeing all kind of stuff going on.
Thank God
But-
for the good feature then.
yeah. So big up yourself on that. Listen, Liv, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in the studio. It's always a pleasure. And it was
Always,
like,
man.
it was like, is this gonna be live? I'm like, you damn right, it's gonna be live. I gotta see my girl
Right.
in the flesh.
Right.
But please let everybody know the single's out right now. We're gonna get it on the radio.
Yes,
and
the
let them know how they
single.
can get in touch with you.
No Permission is the single, y'all. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep listening. Keep downloading. Keep streaming. I rocks with y'all. You can get it anywhere. It's available on any platform. So run them numbers up.
That's what's up. And how can people connect with you on social?
My Instagram is only one Olivia with the number 1. Twitter is one and only Olivia with the number 1, and Facebook is Olivia Worldwide. And yeah, I just started my TikTok page.
Yeah,
y'all.
me too. Me too.
I don't know. Y'all ain't gonna catch me doing like
No, I'm not doing
I'm
that.
not doing it.
But that's why I got into it, because I learned that TikTok is just not that. Because I felt like I don't want to be on no app my daughter's on and doing all these dance moves. But I realized you could cook, you could this, you could that. So I put up my, like what I did, because I just started, I'm putting up all my classic interviews, because this
okay.
is Black Music Month.
That's good.
June is Black
Yes,
Music Month.
yes.
So every day in the month, I'm going to have yours up there too, but every
Okay.
day in the month, I'm putting up an interview, a clip of an interview that I had with a Black artist.
You know, I got to start doing that, because I always do my cooking on my Facebook. Like I
Yeah,
neglected.
no,
I
TikTok.
neglect TikTok. Like I probably only have 6 things up when I was doing the countdown
Right,
for the
right,
single.
right.
I got to get better at it.
Yeah,
but,
me too,
But the
don't worry.
TikTok is Live Lavish Olivia.
Okay, I'm going to follow you too on
Okay.
that. Thank you so much,
Always
sis.
a pleasure,
Always
man.
a
Love you,
pleasure.
man.
Love you too. Love you too. No Permission. Let's get that joint on right now. Heavy to Mr. Mauricio, 103.5 The Beat. Olivia in the building. She's awesome. Make sure you download her song and get ready for that album. We're going to have her come
Ew.
back when she dropped that album so that we can talk about that, all right?